I grew up believing that love was something you earned. Not because anyone said it out loud, but because that's how it felt inside my family. My name doesn't matter. Some details were changed to protect privacy. But what you're about to hear is real in the way it shaped me. I was the middle child. And from an early age, I learned that being in the middle didn't mean balance. It meant disappearance. My older sibling was everything my parents admired: responsible, driven, someone they could proudly talk about to others. My younger sibling was delicate, emotional, someone who needed protection. And me, I was the one who understood. At least, that's what they told me. When my siblings cried, my parents rushed in. When I stayed quiet, they assumed I was fine. I learned very early that silence was rewarded. At family dinners, I watched conversations unfold like a performance I wasn't part of. Stories were told. Jokes were repeated. Memories were shared. When I spoke, no one interrupted me, which sounds polite, until you realize it's because no one was really listening. I wasn't ignored loudly. I was ignored gently. And somehow, that hurt more. As a child, I didn't have the language to call it exclusion. I called it patience. I called it maturity. Adults praised me for being so easy. Teachers said I was independent. Relatives told my parents they were lucky with me. No one asked if I was lonely. Birthdays came and went. They were celebrated, but without enthusiasm. A cake, a few photos, polite smiles. Meanwhile, my siblings' birthdays felt like events. Holidays followed the same pattern. I was present, but never essential. I became very good at observing. At reading rooms. At knowing when to speak, and when not to. What I didn't realize at the time was that I was slowly disappearing inside myself. As I grew older, the differences became harder to ignore. Family decisions were made without me. Trips were planned and announced later. Conversations happened behind closed doors. Once, I found out my family had gone on a weekend trip, not because I wasn't invited, but because no one thought to tell me. They apologized. They said it wasn't intentional. But intention doesn't change impact. There was a moment, small, almost invisible, that I still think about. During a family gathering, a distant relative asked my mother how many children she had. She paused. Just for a second. But in that second, I felt something inside me break. I laughed it off. I told myself I was imagining things. But that pause confirmed something I had always felt and never dared to say out loud. I wasn't central to her identity as a mother. After that, I stopped trying so hard. Not consciously. It just happened. I stopped sharing personal things. Stopped expecting emotional support. Stopped hoping.